you feel about the performance, the urgency, and the response you had when you made a couple run plays?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, our group has seen it all. We wanted to come in and be the aggressor right away to make sure that we were dictating on the defensive end, and we were dictating from a pace standpoint. They're champions for a reason. We knew that they were going to make runs. They made a big one in the third, and we responded with a big one. I'm proud of our team. It's one game. It's a long series, so we got to keep the main thing. But to come in here and to be able to steal this one was big for us.
For Steph and Bri, I guess you can comment on this. What did you feel like worked so well on the defensive end, especially on Asia, to really give her a tough game and to kind of stop the momentum on that end?
I mean, we know she's the MVP. She's like the best player in the world at the moment. So we just tried to make all her buckets tough. We weren't gonna like stop her completely, but we wanted to make sure that every shot had a hit in her face or she was like on contact. So just trying to make every bucket as hard as possible and not give her any easy ones.
Yeah, and I think making sure that we were disciplined everywhere else. We knew that we needed to limit their 3-point makes. We knew we needed to limit their free throws, and we knew that we needed to force them to play, individually. We can't let them ping the ball around. They're too good. And I thought our attention to detail for the most part was really good.
Steph, this is a team that hadn't lost at home since August 2nd, has turned back double-digit leads multiple times. He closed the gap to 3 midway to late in the third. What was your message at that point? Because at that point, they really needed a shot, it seemed like.
I don't remember exactly. I think something along the lines of just for our team to understand that, they've been champions for a reason. Like, we had to expect that they were going to make a run. They are a great team, and they've been playing some of the best basketball we've seen in our league. So we just had to regroup. We had to get back to basics. A lot of that run was off of our turnovers, so we needed to take care of the ball, and know that we've been through ebbs and flows throughout the course of the season. We just had to regroup, and we had to create a run of our own.
For any of you, you've obviously been talking about Kelsey all year long, and today was pretty special for her. Just what did you see out of Kelsey that was even more exceptional thing?
I mean, I know for me, Kelsey's just a tough shot maker. She's always in constant motion. She's fast as all get out. I think probably the fastest player in the league with the ball in her hands. And she has to work incredibly hard for every shot that she gets. So for her to be able to do what she does at the efficiency with which she does it is pretty incredible. There have been multiple times this season where she's put us on her back, and she's carried us. And as we've gone through that, she's continued to lead and pour into everybody else. And you see days like today where we get production from multiple people. That's what it's going to take for us to be successful. But Kelsey is definitely the head of the snake for us, and she's just a tough shot maker. I was really happy and pleased with the way she distributed the shots she got.
Just for Odyssey, you were basically living in the lane. Like, what was the game plan about getting downhill, and what did you see from the defense that allowed you to do that so well?
Just making sure I'm staying aggressive, putting pressure on defense. They were in drop coverage a lot, just taking the shots that were given to me and reading the defense. I think we did a good job, Kelsey included, all guards just getting to the lane. That was the biggest thing. And if the post stepped up, then we had to dump down. So just staying aggressive, just keeping them on their toes, moving the ball. I think we did great offensively from start to finish today. They did make runs, but we responded very well. Coach talks about it all the time. These are moments where we grow. These are moments where you have to be able to take it up another level. And I thought today, as a group, including the bench, everybody played exceptionally well. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take everybody on our team to contribute. Not always about points, but doing the little things, making sure we get the 50-50 balls, and just staying solid. Like, it feels good to get this first one, but we're not done yet.
Yeah, honestly, the Aces talked about how they couldn't keep up with your guys' pace. Just how important was it for you as point guard to set that pace today?
I think biggest thing, I think we're one of the toughest teams to guard when we play at pace at a higher level. Coach talks to me about that all the time, making sure we get downhill, but also just the pace. When you come off more aggressive, it's hard to stop. And it's me and Kelsey mainly because we're in majority of the ball screens, but it opens up so much. We draw attention when we want to get to the lane, but we also have great teammates that we can pass it out to. And like I said, we don't want to live in the lane, but like I said, we're making sure we stay aggressive, but we also have our sprays, we have our kickouts, we have our high-lows with AB. Just open it up. Me and Kelsey, we really open it up for everyone else, so we're just going to continue to have that mindset going into game 2.
Steph, I know it's play-by-play, game-by-game at this point, but I'm just curious with the overall feeling when you kind of go on this run that you are right now. Is there a feeling, an aura of Destiny type feeling like this is supposed to, this is what it's meant to be? Is there more belief that you can have on top of the belief that you already have right now?
I mean, I don't know. I think our group is we take it one day at a time. We can't trip on anything that's behind us, right? We can't look too far forward and too far in front of us, because that's when you start to lose your focus. And we try, and we have talked about it from day one. We've got to keep the main thing, and that is us playing to a standard of basketball that we want to have as an Indiana Fever organization and franchise. We've got to keep our layers, the outside, the people in our building, and the people in our locker room. And the thing I'm just so proud of with this group is it doesn't matter who's on the floor, it doesn't matter who's on our roster. They give each other the freedom to be themselves. They empower one another to be themselves and to be the best version of themselves. And every time we've had a change, every time we've brought someone in, every time we've had rotational changes, they're for each other. They live the we over the me. And when you have that, it just gives you opportunities to do really special things. It's one game in a long series. But if we continue to keep the main thing and do what we know we can do what we're capable of doing.
Coach, Aaliyah Boston wasn't score that much tonight, but I really thought that she kind of set the tone on both sides of the court. Found double shooters and really commanded a lot of attention defensively and made life difficult in the paint for the Aces tonight. Do you think that that's an advantage that you guys have on the inside going forward?
I mean, I certainly wouldn't have thought necessarily that we'd be in this position with AB having 6 points. But the thing about AB is that she's such a good decision maker. She doesn't force things that aren't there. I thought Vegas did a really good job of collapsing, of not allowing her easy touches. And then once she had it, forcing us to get to next actions. And she allowed that to happen. But because of her gravity, that opens up things like cuts from Breezy. That opens up the lane for our drivers to get into the paint. It opened up rotational opportunities for us to get to the free throw line. AB, and I've said this multiple times, has been the most affected, I feel like, from all of our changes. But she continues to be our rock. She continues to be so steady for us. And I thought her defensive execution was right on point, and she stayed disciplined, and we need her to continue to do that.
Steph, it feels like Kelsey is really the face of this theme of resilience and belief, having been in Indiana for so long. How have you seen that belief and resilience out of her in the last couple of weeks as you guys go into the playoffs?
Well, Kelsey just wants to play, right? Like, she just goes out there and she plays. And I think we've seen it in her ability to accept expanded roles for us. She's always been a great scorer, and now we put the ball in her hands a little bit, and we use her as a facilitator as well as a scorer. There are times where we have to put her on different matchups on the defensive end so that she can get stops for us. So really, she doesn't have any rest anytime she's on the floor, and she's on the floor a lot. So I think you've seen her leadership. She leads by example. I think you've seen her confidence. I think you've seen her ability to be a face of a franchise that she's been through the ebbs and flows of. And I'm happy for her. I'm proud for our franchise, and for us continuing to progress.
Very along a similar vein there with Kelsey. What are you seeing behind the scenes just with Kelsey, how she carries herself and how she's elevated her voice to help make this happen with all of you?
I mean, honestly, she's just a hooper. Like, if you cross the wire, you would never even know. Like, she's just so humble and just so sweet. I'm like, Kelsey, like, talk to you. Like, you're one of the best guards in this league. But, I mean, she's just an amazing player. I'm happy to play alongside her. I'm happy to cheer for her. I'm happy to just, like, be in her space. Such a great teammate, such a phenomenal human person. I could not say enough great things about Kelsey Mitchell. Like, everyone deserves, like, Kelsey Mitchell on their team. But they don't get it because we get her.
That's right.
It's just happens.
Last one.
Odyssey for you. We've heard Breezy and Steph obviously talk about Kelsey on this franchise. If there's one person who knows and could talk about her away from the season, from your time with her at Athletes Unlimited, battling on the leaderboard, what don't we know that you see and have come to appreciate about Kelsey Mitchell?
I mean, I think just like Breezy said, she's a great teammate. She is a sweet human. She's humble. It doesn't matter. She's one of those players that can affect the game no matter if she's scoring. Just her presence being on the floor is just huge for us. We know what she can do on the offensive end, defensively, but her ability to just be in our space, like Breezy said, like, I'm happy that she's our teammate. I mean, I could keep going on. Like, it's an honor to play with her. And as we continue, like, this is just the beginning for us, but Kelsey is amazing. Like I said, I can keep going on and on. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be a part of this. And as we continue.
Kelsey, what was working so well for you tonight?
Just trying to be who I am. Taking what the team's giving me. I like to think that the preparation and everything that you do before the game is kind of prepare you to kind of be who you are. So, yeah, it's trying to be me. I love basketball, so it's just my job to try to do that as best as possible.
This is your first semifinals, but you just didn't look like you look totally unfazed out there, like not feeling the pressure. Is that kind of how you feel?
I think that as a competitor, it's like you know you want to win. You want to do your best to win. So that's like adjusting the room regardless. But I think that I can't. The controllables are the controllables, and the ones that are not are not. And so, I thank God that I put my mental here to be able to have this conversation. But like I just try to keep it about basketball. So I think what you guys see is just me trying to just be a kid in the playground, I guess.
There was this moment in the first half where you had a jumper on the left wing, like a crossover and then a jumper.
Mm-hmm.
Had a big smile on your face afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember, or just?
No, probably not, man. I just be locked in. But I think that it was probably just a moment to see one go in. It's less about anything I do. It don't have nothing to do with nobody else or no other team or nothing like that. It's just about me and trying to just stay focused on the right stuff. So if I was smiling, it was about seeing one go in and kind of like getting yourself a sense of confidence.
How'd you feel about the way this played out ultimately?
Well, I was proud of our team. I think this effort today was just like a group effort from Odyssey Sims all the way down to Aaliyah Boston. Like I think everybody, our entire group was just powerful. Like
I love you, Kelsey, my MVP.
That's my MVP. But like getting to the lane and like Lexi being who she is, been aggressive, and we know we play on like an unbelievable great team. Like we know how great they are from every level. It's just the best you could do is just make them take tough shots, and there's gonna be some shots they hit that are tough. We like just pat them and tell them like, damn, that's a good shot. But I think our focus and our intention is to be defensively aggressive as many times as we can, because we know how good they are off the bounce, and so we want to kind of be there to protect your base as a team. But our group was it was unbelievable, because I think that we were resilient when we had a chance to they went up 10-1 in like the end of a quarter, and I think that was big for us because we didn't fold, and it's like at any given time we won't, and so I'm proud of our group.
How important is it to set the tone in a game like this, dominating on the road to go up 1-0?
It's all familiar territory, so whenever time you're in that, you just gotta kind of treat it with respect, respect where we are. And I think the biggest thing about right now is just kind of sorry about that, it's just kind of being focused on the next one. I can only dwell on this for like a couple more hours, and then it's like you gotta turn to the next one, because they gonna come coming. You gotta be ready for whatever is thrown at you and be your best bite.
Kelsey, Stephanie talked about you, the ebbs and flows of your career with this franchise, and being through it longer than anybody else. How has that prepared you for this moment?
I think everything that I've been through got me here, and so she's right about that. I think that my journey and the way it happened was positioned for me, and I think everything I had to go through was big for me, because I think I can enjoy this moment a little bit more, be prepared for the moment a little bit more. So I think I don't know. I saw the loser. That was a ton. This is my first time ever eating Vegas here at home. So, and I've been in the league 8 years. So that's how it's all for 8 years, I've only won beat them one time, and that was today. And so that's the growth, that's the experience, that's the being at the bottom of the barrel, that's the not being anybody's radar, being a loser. And so I've seen that. I know what that looks like.
Is there more meaning to it, having to go through tough times? You hear people say a lot, you need to go through the valleys to be at the mountain.
Kind of so. It's a little cliche, but I think you really gotta be battle tested. I think my dad's death was big for me, because I got a chance to really grow my mindset from the standpoint of not having what you used to lean on comfortability. I think my sense of comfort when my dad was alive was big for me, and then when you don't have that, you gotta find different ways to adjust, different ways to be a pro. That's what I'm trying to do.
What does that look like for you?
Man, some days are better than others. A lot of people have judgments, but grief is big, and grief is every day. And so the best thing I can do is trying to use basketball as a platform to just express who I am and who I'm trying to be, as well as everything I'm going through. So that expression, everything you guys see, it's a lot of grief, it's a lot of pain, but it's also a lot of growth. So I think it's a combination of just a lot of complex stuff, but I'm just grateful for the moment.
Bree was saying every team needs a Kelsey Mitchell, but ours. What has it felt like? I know you're just a hooper, but what has it felt like this season to feel all that love, to be poured into like you have?
Oh my God, Steph always cries on camera, but I had a coach. I cry off camera, because I really never truly had the company, the culture, the organization that I have surrounded by the last couple of years. It's big for us, because I've never had that. I've never seen that. And so to feel value and to feel like somebody's pouring into me and seeks out my value, it's everything to me, because I'm a loyal person, and my loyalty is in my character. It's something I truly value, and to know people believe in me, y'all gotta know what that feel like, because it was for a long time nobody did, and my dad was the only one. So when you lose somebody and then you find somebody else that can replace that, it's big.
Kelsey, I asked Odyssey about your guys' relationship off season at Athletes Unlimited. Obviously, I've seen it firsthand, right? And I've heard from many players how that time has helped build their leadership and confidence skills. Can you relate to that time?
I think Athletes Unlimited is definitely, as a player's game, you get a chance to reconnect or create friendships and partnerships with other players that you don't think you can connect. And that's why I got a chance to really know off the floor. So that was big for what you guys see now, because our relationship will keep growing off the floor, but on the floor, that can also, you know what I'm saying? It's a big moment for us to not take those moments for granted. So AU was definitely a big moment for all of us.
For you guys, these 3 straight wins, does this feel like this is like you guys peaking at the right time and like kind of the best version of basketball that this group in particular has played?
Oh man, I don't know. We haven't played that much. This is all kind of new for me, so I can't really. That's a great question. I can't really say because it's kind of like new, it's fresh. But I do know basketball, and I can say that where we started and where we were. I don't know if anybody thought we should be here, but like it's an unbelievable experience to be able to do with these girls and do with this coaching staff, because you even lost a coaching staff member to an Achilles. So it's just like a lot of different like factors together. We just can create this environment for what it is. But I just think it's the start of something great, but we can't get ahead of ourselves. We gotta stay focused on the right stuff.
Looking back to a year ago, Steph, first thing she did, I think, was fly over to China and make sure you knew.
She tried. I told her not to, but we talked for like hours and hours every day on WhatsApp, and she made it a priority to kind of like be present in my process. She was big when it came to like understanding what I needed as far as my grief and my pain with my dad, because she knew my dad too. So all those things together was just kind of big as a coach.